Hi there, and welcome to Belt Friends. My name's Casey Hutchinson. I'm the president of Empire Rubber and Supply, and this is my podcast, Belt Friends, where I talk to various folks in our industry, leaders and friends, and kind of turn them upside down, see what falls out, and get to know them. Today, I'm grateful to have Rafael Benitez, Director of Distribution Sales, Conveyor Solutions here in the U.S. for Ammega. Rafael, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Grateful to have you. You trekked over here for this. We talked about it for a while, and I'm grateful you were able to come in person. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. I mean, it's definitely the furthest that you're going to have over here coming in from Miami.
Yes. You're right. In person, you're absolutely correct. So
Definitely.
that's so cool. Well, I always begin this by kind of handing it off at first with telling us about yourself, where you grew up, family, education, that sort of thing.
Sure. I grew up in Puerto Rico, so I was born and raised in Puerto Rico, proud to be part of that island that gives so many fruit to the world, right? Between cuisine, music, sports, and even professionals. I mean, we're a very strong island and very proud to be from there. I was born and raised in a family that's been in the business. So 1934, my great-great-grandfather started a power transmission business in Puerto Rico called Rafael Benitez Carrillo, which is the largest power transmission distributor in the Caribbean.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so it was cool to grow up in a generation of, I'm actually Rafael Carlos Benitez number 4. So
The name carries.
The name carried, and it's been big shoes to fill, let's put it that way, throughout
so
the generations, no? We had the stud of my great-grandfather that was an engineer in the sugar mills, and he was working in the sugar mills, and there was a breakdown in the freight trains in the sugar mills. So there was a bearing that needed to be purchased, and it was a Timken taper roller bearing that he needed to find. Back in the day, obviously, no internet, no real good source to find it, so he took a plane and he went to Ohio and found the factory and bought the product and flew it back in. But in the meantime, he saw the vision and he said, this can't be this hard to get. I mean, more as we are industrializing the island. So he asked for the distribution, and that's how it all started. So from there, he started picking up other lines, and he started really focusing on the industrial side and seeing what the necessities were of the island. So from there, it blossomed. My grandfather started rolling with the business as well, and then left it to my father, my uncles, and my aunts. And in 1999, they decided to sell. So a national company from the States, Applied Industrial Technologies, ended up purchasing them. So they continue with the same name. So, when you have a name that strong, you don't really want to change it.
No, it's a small real estate that
Correct.
made a staple.
Exactly. But it was fun working there because, growing up in the industry and growing up as the fourth generation in the business, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can relate as being third generation in the industry as well. A lot of the summer times, a lot of the afternoons we spend in that facility learning how to sell, what products we sell, how to help, and gaining that type of value from the creators of the business. No, what are the values? The customer centricity, the service aspect of it. So you become almost training for the position that we have grown into nowadays.
Yeah.
So it between growing up in that atmosphere and growing in really paradise, because you have a 100-mile island by 35 miles, beautiful beaches, great food, great ambiance, great people. So I was very blessed to be able to grow up in that environment between skateboarding, playing football, surfing, and doing all these different activities that really, to be a skateboarder, you really have to be resilient.
Oh, yeah.
Because you fall a lot.
Yes. The learning curve sucks.
100%. So you learn how to fall and you learn how to get up and you learn how to persevere. So, I always say that some of the strongest people that you're going to learn, that you're going to meet were skateboarders as well, because you always get back up, and you always do that. So it was fun to do that, fun to grow up in that island and grow up within the values of the company. And then 19 years old, I decided to move to the mainland. So I moved to Orlando so that I can study electromechanical engineering in University of Central Florida.
Oh, good Lord. Okay.
Yeah, so I got married early at 19 years old, and I moved to Orlando, and I started studying at night and started working with a company called Miller Bearings, which is now part of Motion Industries, another large national distributor.
Yeah. But at the time, it wasn't. It maintained as an individual distributor.
Yes, correct. At the time, it was a privately owned distributor owned by Mr. Bud Etheridge, one of the strongest distributors in Florida and the Southeast. I mean, Mr. Etheridge and his family were amazing to me.
Yeah.
I moved in at 19 years old, and they were floored because when I walked in, I already knew the power transmission industry because I've been working at it, pretty much all my life.
Yeah.
So when I interviewed for the first time, they give you this dummy test of, what's the pitch of this belt, and what's the pitch of this roller chain, and what's the shaft size of this particular bearing. And I got 100% on the test. I mean, these were my summer times, right? This is like, what? Are you kidding me? This is pretty easy.
So the first 19-year-old kid to wander in and ace the test.
100%. Bilingual, 19-year-old kid, hungry, wanting to get into the business, wanting to move to the U.S., and long story short, I had interviews with about 5 different companies. I went. It was 1993, and it was Thanksgiving. So it was that Thanksgiving week where we had kind of some time off. So I went over there, and I had arranged for 5 interviews: Motion, Invitech at the time, Command, Applied Industrial or Dixie Bearings at the time, and Miller Bearings.
Okay.
My first interview was with Miller Bearings, and the guy held me hostage.
Oh, wow.
He was like, you're not going anywhere. What do you want?
Ace the test. We need you.
Yeah, so me as a 19-year-old, I was like, X amount. And they're like, you got it. I was like, oh, man.
You left money.
I blew it. But they treated me very well. I mean, they helped me with my studies. Based on my performance, they would pay for my college studies. So I was very blessed to be with a very good, privately owned company, generational as well. It was a great experience. So at 19 years old, I worked there for about 8 months, and they already gave me the branch manager position. So I started at 19-year-old managing, 35, 40, 50-year-olds outside crazy. Sales. So you can imagine the challenge.
That's, yeah, you're still learning, for crying out loud. Now you're learning to manage.
Correct. So the merchandise part I had already pretty much learned. But, managing a business, managing books, making sure, time schedules, making sure that we're not wasting time over there, and making sure that I am value added to my employees. So it was a great learning experience, and fortunately under Mr. Etheridge and his family, I was able to really learn, and they spent some time training me to a point that I became very successful in the position, and then I was asked to move down to Miami. To help in a more bilingual area, but also to expand the business down there. Yeah. And in addition to that, my family had already started moving to Florida as well, so they relocated to the Miami area.
Oh, wow. You're a generous portion of your family or a whole family?
Well, my mom and my stepdad moved over there. My brother was 16 at the time, so he moved with them.
Oh, wow.
And then my sister had recently married, and she moved to the Key Biscayne area as well in Miami. So at that time, I was finding myself every 2 to 3 weeks driving down to Miami. So I thought it was a perfect opportunity to move down. So
it was.
Settled down in the Pembroke Pines area, a little bit west of Fort Lauderdale Airport, and that's where I made my career, my family, 2 great kids. Rafael Jr., he is Rafael the fifth. So he's the fifth generation.
Second in your household, fifth in the family.
Exactly. Exactly. So he graduated from USF, University of South Florida, in Tampa, and he's 24 years old. And my daughter is a senior in USF in Tampa.
Oh, wow.
And she is 21 years old. So they're both doing great. I ended up graduating in Miami in FIU and switched my degree from international business. From electromechanical engineering to international business.
Okay.
So as you know, we both kind of work as both, right? We do a lot of engineering work, but we have to have our business mind as well.
Yeah.
To really understand how to run a business and how to motivate employees.
But yeah, getting to know how the wheel turns is important. Good luck figuring out what the employee's figuring out along the way.
Exactly. I sometimes tell my kids that my job is more psychology than anything else.
It's very accurate.
Yes, definitely. So as I said, I'm making my life over here in South Florida. It's been a great time in terms of building my own business. As I moved down to South Florida, I worked for Miller Bearings for a time, and then Motion Industries bought them out. So I started working with Motion Industries in the South Florida area, and I developed the Tri-County area and also the Caribbean business for them.
What year did Motion buy them out? Just out of curiosity.
I'm thinking it was close to about 98, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so you had some time under your belt at that point.
Yeah.
Working with them. Okay.
Exactly. And
But now here comes a big box store.
Exactly. But big opportunities as well.
Yeah, true.
So as the big box store buys them out, there's a lot of restructuring, but at the same time, a lot of opportunities. So they were developing the Caribbean market, which I was very fond of and know it very well, and also the export market. So we ended up developing the export market for Motion Industries, and I also was in charge of developing Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, and Trinidad.
Oh, wow.
So we started focusing on that.
So you're kind of a key acquisition along the way.
Yes.
Did they have much of that or know how to even approach it at that point?
Not really.
Oh, no
it's
kidding.
brand new.
Okay, I would have figured.
So
what
the
an
first
asset.
step, So the first step we did was, my dad had already sold to Applied Industrial Technology, so he was out of the business. So at that time, he started working for Motion Industries as well.
Okay.
So between he and I, we started then developing the Puerto Rican market. So we ended up starting a company or starting their branches in San Juan and in Ponce, Puerto Rico. And he was managing it from the island.
Okay.
And then I was supporting from the Miami area.
Wow.
So it was a lot of fun to work with him for a little bit of my career, even though I would say as a professional, let's put it that way, because I worked with him as a kid.
Yeah, you were a son.
But it was a father. Do this, do that.
I've earned some stripes now, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. So developing that relationship was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And then as we started already and developed Puerto Rico branch, then I started focusing on Jamaica, on Trinidad, and on Dominican Republic.
Oh, wow.
So that was a lot of fun traveling those islands and
newer stomping ground for you too, I would imagine.
Yes, 100%.
Oh, wow.
And interesting enough, they were a little bit behind from what you're used to in the industrial markets in, for example, Miami and Puerto Rico. And in terms of technologies, right? So the electronics of the business and the technologies, they were a little bit behind on that. So it was very interesting to walk into those environments and be able to put value-added solutions that you were already proven in other markets.
Yeah. Boy, and at every turn too, I would imagine.
Yes, correct. So it was fun times. It was fun times because there was a lot of growth in business and there were a lot of opportunities. And so it developed very well.
Wow.
So at that point, working with Motion Industries, I was very happy with the company. It's a great company to work for. Motion Industries and Genuine Parts treated me very well. But coming from an entrepreneur background, between my great-grandfather and my grandfather and my father, I always wanted to set up my own business. So I had a colleague in the business called Mr. Pat Crenshaw, and he had a repping agency in Florida called Crenshaw and Associates, and he asked me to come in and work for him with the intent to go ahead and purchase the company from him at a certain time frame.
Oh, wow.
So I would handle the South Florida area and the Caribbean area for the lines that he represented, and he would handle Central Florida North.
Okay.
And I jumped at the opportunity. I mean, I love Motion Industries, and I love the way they treated me as a company. They're a great customer nowadays, but at the end of the day, I mean, I wanted to see what I could do by myself, and I wanted to, carry those steps of my great-grandfather or my grandfather and my father, and see what I could do.
I can appreciate that.
So I worked with Mr. Crenshaw for a bit, and he decided to retire. I bought the business from him, and that's where RCB International came about.
Okay.
So in 2001 is when I officially acquired the company.
Okay.
And started hunting for lines. So it was, trying to figure out, I had a base of lines that we represented.
But you've garnered so many relationships in what you've been repping over time, too.
Exactly. So a handful of lines dropped me when I purchased the company.
Yeah.
Picked up another handful of lines, but you know what? It was a great learning experience to really battle it out, and try and understand, get those opportunities, and be able to grow.
Well, and see what your reputation had garnered already, too.
100%.
Yeah.
I say that one of the best things that I ever got was the name that I have.
Yeah.
Because it was generational respect. Said like, oh, you're his grandson. I know your uncle. I know your father. I know your great grandfather. So it was really humbling to understand what the opportunities were right in front of me, just based on their hard work, their reputation, their values, and how I carried their values forward and gave me the opportunities that I had to run the business.
Yeah, there's probably, you can't let anyone down because you're living that name, and they wouldn't expect you to either.
Exactly.
So, that's cool.
Exactly. So the business went very well. I ran it for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
So at 20 years and a half is when I decided to sell the company.
Okay.
But within those 20 years, it went through a lot of changes. So initially, I wanted to make it into a huge power transmission repping agency. So I had everything from bearings to seals to motors, drives, everything under the sea, and I wanted to make it, I don't know if you're familiar with Browning.
Oh, yeah.
And EPT that later bought them out. So I wanted to become that, take all the smaller manufacturers that did not have enough revenue to have their own salespeople, and I wanted to represent them. Yeah. And I brought them all together into what I considered my own conglomerate. So how am I going to compete with these guys? I get my own bunch of little companies that I can go ahead and compete very well with. So I had my roller chain, I had my sprockets, I had my bearings, I had my motors, I had pretty much everything that needed to be covered. Yeah. My V-belts, my shivs, all that stuff.
The gambit, everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we started growing. That gave me the opportunity to go ahead and hire my uncle and my cousin to work with me. So we started kind of, the family tradition again to start bringing people into the business. And, my uncle Angel, one of my mentors in life, is now working for a company called USA Roller in Orlando. And, as I said, I can't say enough of the guy. He has taught me so much about the business, but also about life. Yeah. He's a great individual, and it was a pleasure to work with him and to learn from him a lot. So the company went through a lot of changes in terms of we started understanding that we had way too many lines.
Yeah.
Too many responsibilities to too many principles.
Yeah, I get you.
So we started closing the company up and started focusing on conveying.
Had you been, up to this point, had you been playing with belting and conveyance in that regard? I mean, you have all the turning components. I haven't heard belt till now.
Well, yes, and it's a funny story because the first belt line that I started representing was KVP.
Oh, okay. Modular. Okay.
So it was all modular, side flexing belt, one of the best side flexing belts out there, and IS 610 and all these different products that they had. They were very strong also in the snack food industry. Developed a lot of the modular belts for Frito-Lay.
Yeah.
And I worked with them, and we were very successful in growing the business of KVP. Then a company called Habitat bought them out.
Yeah, they did.
So when Habitat buys KVP, they bring their synthetic sales group into the mix, and then we had a bunch of reps that were representing KVP. So what we did was we all worked together for about a couple years, and then Habitat made a decision to get rid of all the reps. So I was one of the casualties on it. So I was like, man, I can't believe I was doing so great with this line, and it was just one of those decisions that the company didn't want to go with contractors, but wanted to go with direct employees.
Did that chop the line away from you that you couldn't even be a distributor for the line?
I didn't want to be a distributor because I didn't want to compete with my customer base.
Oh,
because that was just one of the lines that I represented of many.
Yeah. No,
So I didn't even want to touch competing against my own customer base.
God love you. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and I was very loyal to my customer base. So and they were all very upset that I lost the line because we took the line in very little sales and grew it almost 4 times the volume.
Yeah, and you educate them along the way, so they probably felt guilty going, well, now I have the direct path.
And you know me, I mean, I'm very passionate about what I do. So when I pick up a line and I pick up and I start selling something, I have to believe in it.
Yeah.
I believe in the product. I believe in what I'm selling, and part of that passion is what helps us succeed, right?
Yep.
So it was tough to see that line go, but then I had a friend of mine that used to work for KVP and left and went to work for a company called Uni. And his name is Julio Echevarria. He's not in the industry anymore, but he was inside sales over there, and he kept on calling me going like, man, I heard you got let go. You got to come, talk to these guys. So he pressed me, and I told him, I don't think I want to get into this type of business anymore because I don't want to run into the same situation.
Well, you've already been crushed.
I mean, it was a tough one because we were doing really well, and we were going, collecting good revenue from the company.
Yeah.
But we were working it. We were working it very hard, and it hurt until we did get an opportunity with Uni, and we interviewed, and I ended up talking to the regional manager, and he really loved our company and what we had to say. So we got an opportunity to start representing Uni in 2008.
Okay.
So picked up
and
Uni.
Uni at that time was just Uni, right?
Just Uni.
Yes. Okay. They hadn't been acquired yet.
Correct.
Okay.
They got acquired around 2009, 2010.
Oh gosh, just a heartbeat away from you getting on.
So you can imagine, I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. They literally in 1 year, we almost doubled sales.
Oh, wow.
And it was a great year. We said, this is going to be excellent. It's a great pickup of this line. And then all of a sudden, a company called Amaral goes ahead and buys them out. So I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Here we go again.
Yeah, no kidding.
But then again, here we are, right? So
there's a story to this.
20 years later, from 2008 to 2020, we were one of the top sales organizations within the company. And very similar situation happened with Amaral Beltec, where when Amaral Beltec purchased them out, I know that you had a podcast with Mr. Chad Ackerman.
I certainly did.
So Mr. Chad Ackerman was my boss at the time. And throughout that acquisition, he picked up, the sales organization, and he was the director of sales. So Chad had some decisions to make, and internally in the company, they had some internal conversations to have because they had the synthetic side, they had some manufacturers reps, and they had some direct modular employees as well. So we had way too many salespeople, and everybody knew it.
Yeah.
So at a certain point, Ammega Beltec had to make a tough decision where they fired a lot of the reps and a lot of duplicity as well within the company, and then started, consolidating one sales force. But I remember the day that we got called into Atlanta, and Chad called me and said, "You don't have to come in, but you're gonna hear some stuff, but you're okay."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I was one of the survivors.
Skip a beat.
I was like, all right, I'm done working today. I'm going to the beach.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
So we ended up having a situation where we had to let go some employees and do some tough decisions, and it must have been very tough for the company to go through that transition period because I mean, when you have a lot of duplicity in a sales department like that, you really can't survive.
Yeah.
So,
and yet you got a lot of winners, and how do you pick the winners from the winners?
Exactly. So I was fortunate enough to be of the survivors. There were only like 3 repping agencies that survived, and I was one of the repping agencies. So I was very fortunate to have had their trust already. I mean, I was one of their top performers, our company was. So we were very fortunate that we saw our fruits and of our labor and how hard we worked and how serious we took selling of modular belts and synthetic belts.
Yeah.
So, and not only that, but the way that we sold it. So at that point, Ammega Beltec didn't really have a very solid go-to-market because it was acquisition of a European company, and the go-to-market in Europe is typically go direct to market to the end users. So that's the initial mentality of the company coming in. But here in the States, as you know, I mean, distribution is key.
Oh, yeah. You can't go garner some relationship with a distributor and then go call down the street on their customer.
Correct. And in this industry, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that do that. And,
there are a lot of people that do that.
And we were in a crossroads where they saw the way that we went to business and how we could grow the business and have a lot of penetration in the market through distribution. So Niels van der Boogert, my boss at the time.
Hey, Niels.
Hey, Niels. Asked me to join the company as a direct employee to help him restructure the whole sales company and to make sure that we were able to transition our distribution, our direct business to our distributors and become a distributor-oriented company.
You let go of your company.
It was 20 years. I mean, It was 20 years of being a manufacturer's rep, and anybody that's been in that industry, I mean, knows that it's a very cutthroat business.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And I also was looking for some change in my life. I've done it for 20 years, and I thought it was a great opportunity to join the corporate world, to join a great organization like Ammega Beltec directly. I loved working with them. I loved the direction of the company, where it was going, the product, the people within it. And I thought it was a great opportunity to be able to sell the company, let it go, and start another stage in my life. So that is when I got the opportunity to become director of distribution for the U.S., making sure that we transitioned a lot of that direct business that we had to our distributors and to strengthen our distributor relationships so that, it's been a long road because it takes a lot of persistency and consistency in order to prove and to walk the walk and talk the talk, right? And it's just like you got to really prove to the distributors that you're being real.
Yeah.
And that this is your go-to-market, we're consistent, this is how we're going to grow, and this is the path forward for us.
Well, you had the experience to be a voice for that. So
100%.
what year did that transpire that you went full
21.
21, okay.
2021, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was right there almost at the 21st year of RCB International, and it hurt. I mean, it hurt because it was something that I dreamed about for many years.
Was it a hard conversation at the dinner table with family?
Oh, yes,
Oh, my
100%.
goodness. I couldn't imagine.
It was nervousness. It was, some would say, I can't believe you're going through this and you're thinking about it. And, but at the same time, there was also part of my family that was very excited for me.
Good.
Because they would see that, sometimes when you run and you do the same thing for many years and you're dependent of other principals and manufacturers, it's very stressful.
Very vulnerable at times. You
yes.
went KVP into uni. Here you go.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And I was lucky to be able to find a replacement. But sometimes, there's not enough lines in order to replace one or the other.
That's the heavy burden. Yeah.
But, one thing that RCB International showed me is you got to persevere. You got to be a man of your word and do what you say you're going to do. You got to perform. Anything you do, you have to do it with pride, and you have to learn it. You have to really understand what you're doing. I'm going to a principal, looking at them in the eye, and I'm going to be your expert from now on. I am going to learn your product. I'm going to be your face. And that takes a lot of responsibility, and that takes a lot of work, dedication, studying, application, understanding. And the great thing about it is that you become a Swiss Army knife. I know about bearings, motors, variable frequency drives, sensors, conveying. Slideways is one of the lines that I used to represent, about plastic components and coefficient of frictions and all these different things that you start looking at that right now help me out so much in the position that I'm at, because I can walk in and I can go with you to an end user and talk about troubleshoot an application, and I'm just not pointing a finger at a belt.
No, exactly. You fixing the problem. It doesn't have to be the belt, even though belt's the head of your arsenal right now.
Exactly. Is it a locked bearing? Is it the temperature of the bearing off? Is it the variable frequency drive? I mean, what is it? Mm-hmm. Where's the amperage of the motor? Are we getting too much drag? So you gain so much knowledge. And I'm very grateful for all the principals that gave me the opportunity to represent them. But, it's the knowledge that I was able to gain is probably a great asset, one of the greatest assets that I had with that company.
Man, I call you the Swiss Army knife. That's cool.
Yeah, that's it. Ready for anything.
No kidding. Wow, what a journey. I'm flabbergasted because you spilled it all out so well of where your journey's led you, and your family legacy. That's something truly to be proud of. I'm sure the generations ahead of you are very proud of you. So
yeah, I'm very proud of where I come from.
Yeah,
and as I said, one of the best attributes that I have is the name, because it really, you really have to carry the torch, and. Now my son is also in the business as well. So number 5 is Rafael Carlos Benitez. Number 5 is also in the industry and also selling belts. So it's pretty cool to be able to see him grow within the industry as well. Yes, I mean, it's the family legacy is first.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. Yeah. Wow. So through this journey, though, how did you get into Niba? Is that something that got thrust your way through AB, or was it anything happened prior to that?
Well, prior to that, I've already been, selling the AB products. So I was very involved in Niba in an external way.
Yeah.
But I was more involved in like PTDA and other organizations, and the PTRA, which is the Power Transmission Reps Association as well.
Okay.
So I was involved in those associations, building relationships. But as I started in my direct role with Amaral Beltec is when I really dove into Niba and kind of pushed away the other organizations and really started to build relationships within Niba and starting to understand the value of the organization and how it could be a driver for business for us.
Yeah. And well, yeah, you get every opportunity to rub elbows and garner relationships on different levels and talk shop with rivals, perhaps. And you can approach it on so many angles, and that's the value I've seen in it.
Well, it's been one of the greatest learning experience that I had in this industry is be able to be trained by Niba, and now becoming one of the trainers for Niba is it's a great opportunity. I mean, I learn something every day.
Yeah.
And then also, we had legends in the industry like Mr. Don Rabb, that is one of our trainers in Niba and was one of our leaders in one of our business units, Kemprine, and he's very well known in the industry and within Niba as well.
Yeah.
So, he promoted me within there, and Niels as well was one that promoted me in there. So I was able to get into the membership committee.
When did that take place for you?
A couple of years ago.
Okay.
So before I was involved as a director of sales and, kind of organizing the conventions and the meetings and networking. And then a couple of years ago is when I started getting more and more involved and become part of the membership committee. As part of the membership committee, we vet the potential members, recruit potential members as well, and try and grow the organization as a whole.
Yeah.
But my current boss at the time, Ricard Gomez, was very involved in a project as well of trying to take the educational committee and starting to make a Spanish class specifically for Central, South America, and the Caribbean.
Yes.
So taking the same learning curriculum that we have in Niba, which is one of the best training curriculums that you have in the industry. Like you're not in the industry, number one, if you're not in Niba.
I've heard that.
Correct. And if you're trained by Niba, you're a pro.
Okay. Thank God for the National Industrial Belting Association.
100%. And I was blessed to be able to be in the ground at that project. So be able to take it from the floor up, starting to translate all the presentations, all the material that needed to be translated.
How tough is that? I mean, you worked on a bilingual level of selling, and I know there's a lot of tripping points with how we try to cipher out things that are truly belt related or power PT related. Is that a lot of what you're trying to do to communicate that language?
We do, and interestingly enough, English is a lot more simple than Spanish based on the colloquialism.
I challenge that.
So, the colloquialism. So when you start talking Caribbean Spanish versus Central American, like in Mexico, in Colombia, in Venezuela, in Brazil, obviously Portuguese, Argentina, they all call belts differently. It could be a correa, it could be a banda, it could be a cinta. And then when you're doing we had to have debates within our team of what we were going to standardize on,
like
just based on the region.
Judge.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we had a lot of experience within the Spanish training committee, and like I said, a lot of debates. Well, let's call it correa or let's call it banda, and start going through that. And starting to make our own basic glossary of terms.
Yeah.
So that then we can standardize and make sure that we were able to not only tell them what we believe it's called in the region, but also learn and start applying those concepts as well. So when we're starting doing the classes, it's a lot of back and forth of, this is how we call it. What do you call it? And start learning and start developing as we go.
Well, it's long overdue. I mean, because North America to South America, everybody's on the grow and needing to work with one another. So to break those boundaries down, that's huge. It shouldn't have been just you in Florida working those kinks out to begin with. And here it is now, you're working the kinks out on a massive level.
Yeah, and it's a privilege. It really is a privilege to be able, I mean, we've already had 2 trainings in Mexico. In the Flexco facility in Mexico.
Okay.
And they've been successes. I mean, we've had over 20 people in both classes. We've recruited already about 6 new members from the region, and we continue to grow, which is really what we're trying to do. Is we are trying to communicate the best practices within our industry, but also what are the features and benefits of Niba, why you should become a member, and how we are going to help you in terms of developing your business, improving your profitability, and correcting those best practices so that then we can train your employees as well.
Yeah. Vital. Yeah.
It is.
Wow. Keep going, dude. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. All right. Man, you get the conch running. I love it. You're one of the easiest interviews I've had, buddy. Let's get away from belting.
Sure.
And I would usually reach into you. What's fun when you're not doing this?
Wow, I spend a lot of time with the kids.
Yeah.
I try and spend a lot of the time with the kids and see them grow. See them at this stage of life is amazing. I mean, my son, seeing him mature into the professional that he is right now, really fills my heart and really, fills my joy. And seeing my daughter also excel in school. She's a beach volleyball player at the University of South Florida.
Oh, wow.
So I get to see her a lot in the tournaments.
Collegiate volleyball. That's so cool.
It's been fun watching her play and seeing her develop these relationships within the other players, but also within school. And she stepped back from playing now, and now she is managing the A volleyball team from University of South Florida. So before it was a club sport, and a couple of years ago, last year, they started handing out scholarships, and she stepped back from playing and went into managing the team. So this will be her second year managing the USF volleyball, beach volleyball team. And it's amazing because she travels as much as I do. Yeah. I mean, I always say that I have a very expensive mailbox in South Florida because I'm always in a Marriott. But this girl is flying from state to state and managing the team and making sure that, they have all the lodging, food set up, travel arrangements, and make sure that everything is set to standard. And which is what she's studying. So she's studying sports management.
Oh, wow.
So she's doing a great job in kind of like understanding what all that is and then filling her resume and growing. So I love to see her play and to see her perform. I love to see my son perform as well. He was in the band of USF.
Oh, cool.
So a trumpet player in the band. Uh-huh. And it was so much fun. I'm a big football fan as well. But throughout his college career, I ended up going pretty much to almost all the USF football games.
Yeah.
But I would leave in the third quarter after the band played. Because I had to haul back to Miami, so I had to get back home. But,
okay, I won't pick on you. It doesn't sound like much of a fan, but no.
Hey, listen, they weren't that good of a team either. No, they didn't have a good football team, but at least they had an amazing band. So it's fun to see them, and I love to stay healthy.
I say you keep in good shape.
I try to. I mean, as you.
Well, when we're at the convention, I always see you trying to make out to the workout room and stuff. And,
yes,
and keep it going.
Maintaining that routine is important. Mm-hmm. I want to be the fit grandfather when that time comes about, and I want to have longevity in life and make sure that I don't become a burden to them. So I try to watch my diet. I try to train, and I try and do the right things and maintain that discipline, so that I can maintain the longevity in life. So I like training. I like the beach. I go to the beach a lot. I wish I could surf a little bit more than what I do, but
do you still surf?
Every so often.
Okay.
Every so often. I haven't been probably in about a year and a half.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, it's...
Well, the surf was at your Vail in your youth. That's where you developed that?
Yes.
Yeah, good for you.
Yes. I mean, we used to skip school sometimes and just like get up on the roof of the... I used to study in Academia Perpetuo Socorro in San Juan. And it was like up in a hill, and it was like 3 stories, and you would go to the roof and you would look down and you could see if there were waves or not. And if there were,
that's going to dictate
you
your day.
display and go. try and get back before it was pickup time for my parents. So we did surf a lot, and we did skateboard. I was more of a skateboarder than a surfer. So one of the things that I do is I have about 3 skateboards right now, and I take them out for a spin every so often, and clears my mind. In Howlover Beach in Florida, there's like a little pump track that I built a skateboard just for that. So that
fun!
You can pick up speed and and carve through the turns. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, and safer. You're keeping all 4 wheels down rather than
yes, correct.
Some of your older tricks.
Yeah, no, the monkey business is no longer allowed over here. I don't heal as quick as I used to, and these parts you can't find in a junkyard.
Good for you. Biking's what I do, and I'm always trying to keep 2 wheels on the ground, so I get your plight.
Yeah, but it's tough, no?
No, not tough, but well, actually, yeah, it is. I took mountain bike out a week ago, and I can pop this one,
Yeah.
But then you learn, see some coming, going, your limitations. I'm not going to pop that one anymore. That was 20 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It only takes 1 tree.
Oh my gosh, yeah, or one skew or miss or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Find that tree. Yeah. I hear a wiser voice in my head nowadays, and
Yeah.
I'll listen to it.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
So I'm a lot more conservative than I used to be, and I still like to go fast on a skateboard, but not fly.
Yeah.
Not fly as much as we used to.
Good man.
But yeah, and spend time with my girl, spend time with my girlfriend, and I love cooking. I love going into a restaurant and trying to figure out a plate that we love to do, and once we love the plate, try and figure it out and perfect it and cook it at the house and do that. So I love cooking in the house and grilling, and so I'm more of a homebody now than anything else.
That's all right. You've been out. Well, for your work, you have to be out in the world a lot. So I'm sure coming home and settling into a routine's a wonderful thing.
Yes. You got to find that balance.
Well, when you were younger, this wasn't, I know you got thrust into this at a young age, but what did you want to do?
This.
You did want to do this?
Well, I mean,
I know you had
the family
from-
company is Rafael Benitez Carrillo.
True.
And that was Rafael Benitez. And I'm like, he ran it. It's going to be your turn. Get ready. So I really took it serious to get ready. And then all of a sudden they sell. And I was like, oh, man. This was what I was looking forward to, right? So, and the funny thing about it is that of my generation,
Yeah.
out of all the cousins that I have like 23, 24 cousins.
Oh, wow.
I'm the only one that stayed in the industry. Everybody else chose their own path. I've got, doctors. I've got pharmaceutical reps in the Air Force, in national security, TSA. They're all over the place. Ophthalmologists. One of my cousins is a colonel in the National Guard. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
And I'm the only one that stayed in the business. And I was like, I guess I was the only one that didn't see it coming.
But there was a good percentage of them that dipped their toe in and then got out.
Yeah. We all worked the summers there.
Yeah.
We had no choice.
Yeah, no kidding.
We had to be there in the summertime, so we had no choice. I was the only one that liked that in the summertime, and they all went like, nah, this is not for me. I'm looking for something else.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, no, but when I was a kid, other than, playing sports and trying to stay, because you always have that mentality. I used to play American football, and I played baseball, and I played volleyball, and all these different sports, and you always have that idea of maybe I can make it pro, but 5'8", 155 wasn't going to cut it.
No, not going to be handed the ball to run down the middle.
No, not well. I mean, you can.
Yeah.
You're just not going to last long. You're going to break you like a chicken wing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was quick to find out that wasn't going to be my future. And then with skateboarding also, I was very good at what I did, but not crazy enough to do the things I needed to do to get to the next level.
Yeah.
And I pulled back and got married at an early age and then started maturing. I said, I got to get a job. I got to start studying at night. I want to start building my family. I want to start building my legacy.
Yeah.
And I took the tools that I had and, reinvested in myself and, Miller Bearings and other companies that I knew were going to help me develop my career within the industry, build my name, and I'm blessed to have the opportunities that I have right now.
Well, I'm blessed to share your story.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, holy crap, we've killed a perfectly good hour together, Rafael.
Already.
Already.
Well, you can tell my team. My team will tell you that I love to talk.
Well, I love you talking today. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate this.
No, well, thank you very much. Thank you for having me and for the opportunity.
Yep. And it won't be long. I'll see you at the convention too. So.
Yeah, it's about 3 weeks. Looking forward to it.
Likewise.
Yes.
Well, I'd like to thank you folks for tuning in. We can't do this without people watching this. Thanks so much. I'm not one of those guys who smash that subscribe button and like, but you're welcome to do that. I don't have a merch store, sorry, but I do have a good companion in the studio here, George Padilla, and I'd like to thank him for sponsoring today's episode with New Wave Studios. Thank you so much. New Wave Media, excuse me. Thank you so much. And I'll keep doing this as long as George will have me. So you guys take care. Thanks.
Thank you.